Something to be aware of is as you start awakening and become more aware of how the system, the matrix, whatever you want to call it, works, how you work, how the conformity of society works, how the government works, how everything is motivated by money, how factory farming works. It can be, as you awaken, it can be such a heavy burden. And I've received emails and had Skype sessions with some people that just as they become awakened, they become more depressed because you become aware. There is some truth to ignorance is bliss. And as you remove the layers of ignorance, oh my God, it's really can be depressing. And I get that, I understand that, and I went through that. And I projected this energy into the world. So what I saw was the negativity and the heaviness in the dark cloud of the world and the suffering of the animals, the suffering of people, just suffering, the suffering of myself. And it's like when you get a new car. You get a new car and then you start noticing that car, other people driving that car like you never have before. It's because now you're aware. You saw the same amount of your car, you've seen your car the same amount of times, but you weren't aware. It didn't register. So now as we become awakened and we shed off the blinders, we start seeing all different kinds of things. And it can be very, like I said, very depressing. One of the things is preparing yourself and knowing what you're getting yourself into as you become awake. And then, if you expect that, okay, I'm going to, as I awaken, I can go through maybe more of a dark period. And I think that's just one of the stages. As you become awake, it will be difficult. You know, climbing the top of any mountain is not easy. There's sacrifice and there's a price to pay. When I first discovered Eckhart Tolle and first discovered the first matrix, things just radically shifted in my mind, and I started noticing things externally and things internally. All the things that I was doing wrong, all the programming or conditioning that I was living out. And I started becoming really hard on myself. For example, I'd say, why can't I live in the now? I know when I don't live in the now is when I suffer. And if I project myself into the future or the past, I suffer. I need to live in the now. And I started noticing and beating myself up a little bit because I couldn't live in the now consistently. And instead of taking that and shifting it and saying, oh, I'm aware that I'm not living in the now. I'm aware of it. That is a huge progress, huge step, and we don't give ourselves enough credit for noticing the things that normally was on the subconscious, went below the radar. When you become aware of destructive or neurotic thinking ways of living or thinking patterns, that is a small victory, and you're interrupting that conditioned way of thinking. It's like someone, every time if potato chips is your weakness and you just automatically eat potato chips without thinking, versus someone going like this. Every time you ate a potato chip, someone just flicked you. Well, at first it doesn't feel too bad, but after a while it starts becoming a little bit annoying, and then next time you eat a potato chip, you first think, okay, do I want the potato chip even though I'm going to get this annoying flicking? And the flicking is the interrupter, and that's what we need. That's what's beautiful about awakening, is now you are interrupting the neurotic way of thinking, the pain body, the conditioned mind. And you might still continue and continue the same habit patterns, the same neurotic behavior, the same worry, or the not living in the now. But observation is the first step. And what is required in awakening is patience. And we want it now. We want the results now. We want the benefits now. We want to awaken now. And instead of realizing that the Grand Canyon was not formed in a day, Rome wasn't built in a day, these things take time, slow, steady, consistent progress. And the first stage is awareness of the world, awareness of how the media is trying to manipulate you, awareness about consumerism, awareness about how the political system works. Once you start becoming aware, you start not becoming a victim and falling into all the traps. And that's the same thing with the mind. As the observer, you're observing the mind, you're becoming aware, and you start diminishing the power the monkey mind has over oneself. But what do many of us do? And what I used to do is I would beat myself up. Oh, why can't I live in the now? And so just be aware of the cost, the price, the sacrifice of awakening, of becoming, of awareness. Nothing in life is free. Anytime you want a benefit, there's going to be a cost. And if you go on your spiritual path knowing that, it's just going to make it a lot easier, a lot smoother. And we can put down some of this negative energy. Also, I went through a stage where it was us versus them, the people that are awakened and the mindless sheep that just follow what the media tells them or follows the norms and conditions of society. And I'm saying that doesn't serve you. That doesn't serve your being. It's a heavy weight to carry and impedes your spiritual growth. Noticing it, being aware of it, and then changing it if you can, and accepting it if you can't. That's freedom. Freedom is not being at the mercy of others. Freedom is not depending upon society to change, to conform, or to fit what you believe they should be doing, or others. Just let things be. As you awaken, observe and accept.